I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Stephen Fox. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
You got that right, man. It has been a wonderful and beautiful day for me.
Oh, that's great.
Been productive and had some fun. Got to connect with some good people, so I'm pretty happy right now.
Oh, sweet. Definitely sweet. Well, what part of the world are you in right now?
I live in San Diego, California. I've been here for about 9 years or so now, 10 years.
All right. You definitely sound as though you have that sunshine in your voice.
It definitely affects quality of life for sure.
Yeah, most
I grew up in
definitely.
a snowy, cold place.
Oh, where was that?
That was Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, it's all right, all right. Well, definitely you moved from the cold to the warm, right?
Definitely. Good change.
Well, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time.
I guess that would be my work as a financial planner. So I help people organize their finances and define what their future goals are so that we can take steps to make it happen for them. And I love the work that I do and the impact that it can have on people who feel overwhelmed by the vast amount of info out there and how hard it is to make big financial decisions.
That's great. I'm speaking to you and I'm reading something here, and it says, right, I just received a big bonus work. Should I invest it, pay down my mortgage, or finally take the Caribbean diving trip I've been itching for?
Yeah. I think that's from my website. Yeah, that's
yeah.
the type of question that people ask me sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely the prep notes for the producer that would put here. But yeah, I saw Caribbean. You know how that is. Yeah. So I would suggest that they take the trip to the Caribbean. What would you suggest?
I think as long as that doesn't get in the way of them accomplishing other goals that are more important to them, then yes, absolutely go for it.
Love it, love it. Well, do tell us, who did you learn the skills of understanding how to balance finances?
I think some of the most important skills of being a financial planner I've learned from the clients that I work with over time, because this job is about much more than just the technical aspects of understanding tax code and investments. It's really about being able to connect with people, and I learned that just by doing it more and more with the clients I work with. So I'd say they've probably taught me the most. I've tried to learn how to become a good listener and ask great questions. Actually, after listening to a couple episodes of your podcast, it occurred to me that I think you might actually be a really good financial planner too, just because you're able to listen to people and you can explain things in terms that they understand. Anybody can learn the technical aspects of financial planning. I did that at San Diego State University, and I became a certified financial planner. But I think that side is comparatively easy. The bigger challenge and the more interesting thing is dealing with people.
Well, aren't you insightful? I'm actually a financial coach. So, yeah, we got our training from Dave Ramsey and his bunch
All right.
up in Tennessee. So, yeah, I learned that as well, my friend, which is why I'm having fun with you, right? Is that yeah, the accreditations are great, but not until you can ask a question that gets the individual activated. Again, not saying you need to do this, but not until you
Yes.
ask that question that then gets them activated. Do you really see change, right? Have you experienced that as well?
Oh, certainly. I can create the most brilliant, technically sound, detailed financial plan in the world, and it doesn't matter at all if they don't take any action towards making it happen. If they don't understand the higher purpose behind what we're doing, then it's all meaningless.
Yeah. And again, you said higher purpose. Like we could dive even deeper. It's like a principle, isn't it? Right or wrong, applicable in life. Like you decide you want to run and lose weight. All of a sudden, after you design the plan, it seems as though the entire world is against you. The rain
Sure.
falls, your shoes on sticks, right? It's a lot
Yeah.
the same. You need to push on through it. The decision has to be yours. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. There are times where I feel more like maybe a coach or a therapist than I do a financial technician. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can well imagine. Well, where's the best place for someone that's listening that has resonated with what you bring to the table to connect with you, Stephen?
They can find me through my website at nextgenfinancialplanning.com. It's NEXTGEN. There's a
Wonderful.
ton of info there about me and what I do, how I help people.
Wonderful, wonderful. What's one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
I think I hang out with a lot of people who are smarter than I am, and that's had some really great impact for me. I just try and always be the dumbest person in the room and surround myself with people who I can learn from.
How does that make you feel when you're the dumbest person in the room? I'm joking.
Surprisingly good. It just reminds me that there's always more to learn. It pushes me to become better at what I do. It helps broaden my perspective. So I really enjoy that feeling, actually.
Yeah, that's definitely a humility. Suggest to someone out there why they should do the same.
I think that's probably the fastest and best way to improve your chances of success at whatever is important to you. Surround yourself with people who are already successfully doing it, and it's impossible for you to not succeed if you're surrounding yourself with the right people.
Amazing audience, you're hearing it here live from one of the easiest names I've had on the podcast, which is Stephen Fox.
Nice. I got that going for me. That's good.
Love it. Definitely having fun. S. Fox. So there we go. Stephen, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. After we've balanced our finances, please do tell us, Stephen, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I think that's probably fishing in my grandmother's pond in her backyard in Indiana. I would go back there with my dad or other family members. I think that's the farthest back I can remember. I was maybe about 4 years old or so.
All right. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
Maybe because it was time that was really important to me. I lost my dad when I was 26 or so. He didn't live as long as I would have liked, didn't have as much time with him, so that helped. And there was other people too that I would fish with there. I think it's valuable just because, or it's memorable just because it was a really peaceful time where I got to connect with people that were important to me. And it was something that I didn't get to do anywhere else. It was only when we drove to Grandma's place in Indiana that I would get to go fishing. So those were special times.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I think maybe it's about self-reliance and also about it helped me develop a sense of purpose, of understanding that time with family is one of the most important things I can spend my time on. Now that I have a daughter too, that hits home a little bit more so. Just knowing that I want to maximize the opportunities that I have to create memories for her that she'll look back on fondly when she's older. And I have a very narrow window of time that I can do that in. So I want to take advantage of it.
Love that. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Certainly.
Definitely, it's an addition to what you have uncovered. What I'd love to dive into, pun intended, is the idea of you learning to fish. I forgot how it goes, but it's like, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And
Sure.
to see you applying, or your grandfather applying the principles, or your father as well, where they are allowing you to learn, understand the principle of sharpening your saw, again, the preparation for fishing, and then casting out your line, and then patience. And then there's so many principles that are occurring there. And to see you now understanding that being the dumbest person in the room gives you that same opportunity again to learn from the other fishers how to be a bigger, better fish, smarter fish. It's fascinating to me how that connects.
Yeah, and sometimes you do that in a positive manner, like someone is intentionally guiding you and providing positive reinforcement. Sometimes maybe there's a bigger, scarier fish chasing you, and you improve that way. So I guess
most
both ways
definitely.
work.
Yeah, I've had that experience. Well, Stephen, if we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Favorite song at 12 years old? That would have been in 1998. I think it was probably maybe some stupid Ricky Martin or something. Like, I don't know, the Macarena. I remember listening to that when I was about that age.
Okay. Are you sure it's not Shake Your Bum Boy?
That could be it. Yeah, I'm busted. You got me.
There we go. Well, Stephen, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Stephen?
I'll try to do too fast, yes.
Stephen, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I'd say my daughter. I mean, I'm not teaching her financial planning or business skills. She's only a year and 3 months old, but I am starting to teach her about the world around her, and that brings me a lot of joy.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. Her name is Michelle.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Michelle. Do you believe in God?
I do not.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yeah, yes, I definitely tend to keep a small group of close friends rather than a large number of looser relationships.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No, not most days.
Or what about 3 hours a week?
3 hours a week, probably. Yeah, maybe a little over that.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Definitely more than 8 most days. Between work stuff or maybe reading educational material or looking at social media, it's definitely over 8 hours most days.
If you, Stephen, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Stephen Fox, what would you say that is?
Oh man, that's a big order. I think one of my biggest goals is to do work that is challenging and fulfilling, not just something that will pay the bills.
I love it. Hey, Stephen, this has been a great pleasure, my friend. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned in doing what I do is that it's important to recognize every decision you make in life is at some level a financial decision too. So it's important to make intentional financial decisions that are in accordance with your own values and spend money on the things that you care most about. I think that's the key to true wealth, rather than just looking at numbers on a spreadsheet.
Love it. Stephen Fox, thank you, my friend, for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you, Angel. It's been great.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.